I love scale. But when talking about scale in games, things can get a little weird. Scale can be so many things, from map size, world building, set pieces. It can be built into the narrative or gameplay, but it all has the same goal of evoking a certain feeling in the player.
To our right. Yep, there it is.
And the methods that developers use to convey that emotion changes with every title, each world, every moment. So when analyzing how they do this, scale starts to become way more than just comprehending the size of something. Sometimes it's about not being able to comprehend the size of a looming structure before you, or it's the flavor text of a design language that immerses you in a world. And other times, it's just a number. And as humans, we have this idea that more is better, bigger is better. For many years, the discourse about new games has been, this is how large the map is, this is how many quests there are, whatever it may be. But scale is a tool that should be used to support the world it's a part of or serve the gameplay it surrounds. And because of that, it can be a game's best friend.
Oh my god. Oh no.
Or it can quickly become its worst nightmare. So throughout the years, there has been an uncountable amount of ways that developers have manipulated the experience and design of games to make players experience scale.
Down here, you look at the scale of this thing. Look at all that. That's so cool. There's ships flying by.
As I've seen like the little tendrils come down from the sky.
Imagine being just a dude in this.
Whether it's baking it into the mechanics of the gameplay, telling a story that gives a player a sense of their part in a world, or leveraging the human psyche and our predetermined knowledge and familiarity to alter how we perceive the space that we will be inhabiting. Something as simple as a door in a first-person game feeling totally normal to walk through, but being way larger than most common doors in reality.
Size of the door is almost twice my fucking height.
But you never have to struggle to align yourself with a door frame in real life. So if you had to in a game, it'd be a door stuck! Door stuck! Please! So they just make the door bigger, and we never think about it. I mean, unless you're like me, or someone else that has made like one of the 50 videos that brings this up. But this technique is used with so much more than doors, from furniture to in-game items, buildings, vehicles, even whole cities.
Like Los Angeles, for example. Now you might be asking yourself, why am I in the middle of downtown Los Angeles? Did I just come down here for this one shot? Of course not. Came for a bacon, egg, and cheese. But Los Angeles is the city that Los Santos GTA 5 is based off of.
And while most people probably know it's certainly not a one-to-one recreation,
I am here to show just how not one-to-one Los Santos and Los Angeles truly are. And to show that, while I traverse Los Angeles here, Jake will be doing the exact same path in here.
I'm dying.
Why did I agree to this?
And I can't truly say the exact same path because places like this, Echo Park, literally just don't exist in GTA 5. See, if I take the map of GTA 5 and I overlay Los Santos with Los Angeles, they line up pretty well, but it's not a perfect match, and we know that. However, if I just focus on one building in the real-life map of Los Angeles, like the Beverly Center, for example, how many times have you literally gone to Los Santos Customs, customized your car, and immediately come right here to this exact parking garage just to drive it off? And if we line up the in-game map with its real-life counterpart, you can see the scale. Los Angeles is much bigger. But what Rockstar excels at doing is using the iconography and people's common perception of well-known places in the world, then creating a world based on that embodies its reference just enough to sell it to the player, while cutting out what's unnecessary that would otherwise hurt the experience. Los Santos didn't need to be a one-to-one of Los Angeles. It didn't need to be the size of an actual city. It just needed to feel like an actual city. And this isn't just done based off map design, it also works in conjunction with elements of gameplay. If Rockstar was developing a game where you would walk everywhere, the map wouldn't be nearly as large and POIs would not be as spread out. But let's take a step back and remember the title of this series to begin with: Grand Theft
auto. What's the first thing you do when you need to go somewhere in a game? You don't walk, you run. And what's the first thing you do when you need to get somewhere in GTA? You steal a fucking car.
Stop that car, stop that car, stop that fucking car. Get the fuck out of your car, bitch. Oh my god, you can't.
Rockstar didn't design this huge open world with this urban sprawl of building facades for you to slowly walk around. They designed it for you to go 200 miles per hour down a long stretch of freeway, to have 3-hour cop chases out of the back of armored cars with your friends, to go steal a military fucking jet and crash it into your friend's car while he's buying ammo at Ammunition. And they designed the playable space based around that.
Where's my car? Here goes mine! Give my car back. I'm sorry. No!
The gameplay and experience came first, and the world they created accommodates those elements.
Please do not blow me up, slaughter me, kill me, etc. Let me bank it, let me bank it. Bank the money, bank the money, bank the money, bank the money.
Now with GTA 6 around the corner, there's a lot of bait info that's been circling on social media, and one of those things is that GTA 6 will have interiors for all buildings. In the entire map. Every single one. Now, I'm not saying this isn't true, although it's 99% not IMO my opinion. This is because the amount of resources it would take to model every interior in the game, even if it was some copy-paste prefab, it's not worth it for the gameplay. And I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool, but there's a special feeling of discovering a little hideout or a unique interior that are found in prior titles. They would be hotspots for me and my friends when I was younger and we would play GTA 4. And when GTA Online released, I would go all over the map trying to find them, looking new ones up on YouTube. There was a special feeling to that. And I think it's way more valuable than a bunch of copy-paste prefab interiors for every apartment block in the city. And it's not like it needs it to feel like a city. You don't walk down the street and walk into every single person's house on the block. And if you do, what are you doing? But my point is, if they gave you these endless amounts of prefab copy-paste interiors, it would eventually just be diluted infinite sameness. And past being a gimmick at launch, it wouldn't support the gameplay. However, endless infinite worlds of same isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it does support the gameplay. With GTA, I don't think it's necessary. But with Minecraft, now that's a different story.
It's not unusual to fuck your bitch. Cock thrust. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Penis brain. Good shit, bro.
Thanks. Thought of it myself.
I'm not even asking.
I'm asking, how'd you do that noise? I'm gonna try that.
Now, Minecraft is a game that does scale in an entirely different way, with an endless world of blocks, a slight feeling of loneliness, and your own imagination. It could be a cool place for you and your friends to explore, or your worst fucking nightmare. Growing up playing Minecraft at 2 in the morning, even with a couple of friends, just being alone in a cave, one small sound can make you feel like the empty world is full of unknowns. I mean, we remember the Herobrine story. All of a sudden, being the last one on for the night became a whole lot scarier. But another reason Minecraft does its infinite scale so well is because it gives its size purpose. And not only because it made a younger version of myself think that the Notch Temple was a real thing that you could find, but because it suits the gameplay. The entire gameplay loop revolves around finding and hoarding resources. An entire useless chunk of just stone can be worth something to someone if they want to build their base out of stone. And having a seemingly boundless map means you can infinitely mine a 1x2 tunnel to find 2 diamonds. And having an endless hellscape means that nether fortress is somewhere and you'll probably die trying to find it and then run back to your loot over and over again until you give up. But no matter what you decide to do in the vast emptiness of the world, it never feels unnecessary because it supports the gameplay. It has purpose, a reason to be so large. And yes, over the years, I've grown bored of that empty world, and I can admit that. That's why I play with 400 mods now.
Oh, he's mad, he's mad, he's mad. Oh, did he? Oh, okay, yeah, second to kill him here.
Fucking go, man.
But it doesn't change the fact that in my lifetime, I've spent hundreds of hours in those empty vanilla worlds, and it still works for a lot of other people. It's a system that works because they knew what they wanted it to be, unlike other games with large, empty worlds. Wait, did you hear something?
It allows us to have 16 times the detail. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. All of this just detail.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Okay, I know. I'm beating a dead horse. And Starfield isn't just a beaten dead horse. It's been tied to a wagon, dragged through town, thrown off a cliff into the ocean. But you know what? We've all peed in the ocean. And I'm about to piss on its grave. This game is an amazing example of how not to do scale. Todd Howard has made a space exploration game with no space exploration.
What do you mean? We've not explored every system along this route. Try jumping to a closer system. Yeah, I'm trying...
The amount of planets there are means nothing outside of being an arbitrary number for marketing to tell you how big the game is. And that's basically all it does with its scale. It just tells you it's big. This is what it looks like when GTA 6 has every building have an interior. But the buildings are planets, and the interiors are a few small POIs that are copy and pasted over and over and over again.
It's a rack.
Except instead of going from one planet to the other in your ship, you just hit 2 to 3 loading screens and menus to get there.
There's no way, dude. Okay. Here we are. No, wait, I have to go here. Q or tab out again. Now I can go here. If anyone thinks I'm being like ridiculous for not enjoying my experience so far, this is basically what it's been. It's like clicking on menus, clear for landing, cool. Open map again, click here, hit land, loading screen. Like this is the gameplay loop. Like this doesn't feel like I'm exploring.
Somehow, Bethesda has managed to suck the feeling of scale out of space, which is probably the most scale thing in existence. All this is a shit ton of empty planes and an overcomplicated fast travel system. All of this space you've created doesn't know its purpose.
Oh, that's here?
And you can say it's for resources and base building, but that's not why we're here. We came here to play a Bethesda RPG in space. My guy, you've lost the fucking plot. And this is my biggest gripe with the game. It commits so hard to the size of it all, but has no depth or purpose. It's as vast as an ocean, but as deep as a puddle. All while neglecting and abandoning what made Bethesda games fun to begin with.
Stop! You violated the law!
What?
For example, even though Skyrim has never really been a game for me and Gherkin are doing a co-op playthrough right now. And I've been having a lot of fun.
This is fucking sick. Yo, this is sick. What the fuck?
They're trying to get you to play this shit.
But it's a well-crafted world that I'm having fun exploring. Skyrim's world is massive, and when you start a quest and opt to run there instead of using fast travel, it has inherent value.
Oh, we gotta go to the right.
Oh, fuck. I told you, you can't fucking live here, man. Now I gotta burn his body. Do the fucking ritual. Told the fucking goats, man, they can't fucking be living and walking around.
Oh,
what the fuck is that?
Dragon. Homie just said hello.
Their worlds are crafted to distract you and pull you away into other scenarios, other experiences.
Stop running, we're walking away. I can't hear him. He's walking away and I'm talking. I hear him behind me.
He's gone.
Where the fuck did he go, man?
Over here.
And that is good game design. I'm having fun finding dungeons and getting into random fights with dragons, but that's only possible because the gameplay came first and the space was developed with it in mind. That's what makes Skyrim feel so large. That's what makes it feel like there's a whole world going on around you when you get pulled in different directions by side quests and NPCs and this.
I might store my shit in there, like some heavy stuff.
What the fuck?
What?
The dragon's corpse, it just flew across the map, froze in midair, stretched its neck, and then continued to fly back over to where we killed it.
But all of that gets lost when you force your gameplay to look like this. And you know what? If you like Starfield, then that's great. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying I tried. And I really tried.
No. Go into, how do I show me? Clear out, what? I'm not even in my ship, bro. Yeah, I'm being held together by strings here.
And I liked certain elements and areas I discovered, but hitting a loading screen to discover a settlement doesn't feel as good as organically discovering one by walking through Tamriel or the Wasteland.
We're just gonna map, oh, I didn't mean to hit the console. I'm gonna tab.
Especially when the locations feel more like hubs to stop by and pick up quests rather than fleshed out worlds of their own.
Oh! Why can't you run? Why don't you have infinite sprint in social spaces? Why? Because this isn't a social space, but it feels like one because the game design is, the world is weird. It's a weird world design.
Especially when the quests make you ping pong around the universe via multiple loading screens and menus that rip the immersion out of any experience. And maybe this system would have worked if they maybe focused on a few planets, each around the size of a smaller open world, but with having the depth of a world like Fallout or Elder Scrolls.
This here, this is cool. Not as big, but it feels more alive, and it makes me feel like I am just a part in a world. Like, this feels like a world. This feels like it could exist. New Atlantis does not feel like it could exist. It doesn't feel real.
But they decided to do scale for the sake of scale. To just tell you the game was massive. To make something that's just an arbitrary number with no purpose.
You can also land and explore anywhere on the planet. And it's not just this planet. It's all the planets in the system. And not just this system, but over 100 systems. Over 1,000 planets, all open for you to explore.
The reason why space itself is so crazy and hard to comprehend is because as humans, we're not good at doing that sort of thing. Just saying a million doesn't feel like a million. That's why scale isn't just a number. And when using it in stories, worlds, and especially games, we have to feel the scale of something. Not just be told. We need to be shown. We need to be just thrown in. Maybe the game doesn't tell you anything at all. Maybe sometimes the world is crafted so well that no matter how big, from the moment you step out onto the open plain, you know exactly how small you are and exactly where you need to go. And that place is the Erd Tree. The Lands Between from Elden Ring has to be one of my favorite worlds in all of gaming. It's so incredibly massive, yet every corner feels like it needs to be there. By the first time you beat the game, you feel like you've been on a lifelong journey.
Right here.
Both here. We got him. Let's fucking go!
Every boss fight, every site of grace discovered, every small room in a large castle in this vast land, it was all worth it.
Oh my god!
See, Elden Ring may be challenging, even painful at times.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna fucking
Yes.
cry. I'm shaking.
But it also asks you to be curious, and it rewards you for it.
What the fuck is going on over there?
Oh, yeah.
What did you just do? I'm fighting a mosquito. You called a dragon. What the fuck, dude? Why? Why did you do what happened?
The size of the world feels warranted because it wants you to explore. And FromSoft gives you a horse and a fast travel system to make sure that backtracking and long spans of open area don't get in the way, but when you're somewhere new, they want you to discover what's next. And it all feels rewarding.
Nah, he's dead.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Is there a hidden item, a portal, a whole secret area of the map with a hidden boss? It never stops asking you to explore. Every map I found, lift I activated, I kept thinking, holy shit, there's more. The world felt absolutely massive, yet I never felt bored. Outside of Elden Ring being a Souls-like and the challenging difficulty that comes with, the secondary nature of everything that is in this world is to have you explore. And they encourage you to do this based off of not only the map being visually stunning, but it is also baked into the idea of build crafting. You never know what you're going to find. A secret boss, you break a jar and you find a random item that opens up a whole part of the map that you didn't even know existed.
Harley, I think this guy is the bush. He was the bush.
Maybe it's a weapon that plays directly into the type of build that you want to run. Maybe you haven't gotten into build crafting at all and you are just exploring because you don't know what you'll find. And the way that works together with the visually stunning world that they have created is why the scale of it is justified. I still remember the first time defeating Godric and walking out of Stormvale to see Liurnia for the first time. And although it may sound dumb, I thought Limgrave was the whole map. But after being stuck on that narrow bridge for hours with Godric, and then seeing the hills rise up on either side of Raya Lucaria in the distance.
That's New World?
Yep.
That just showed me that FromSoft knows how to make scale not only be rewarding, but to have impact. And speaking of scale having impact, this brings me to another game. 40K. Now I know I just talked about Space Marine 2 in my last video, but this game does scale in a very different way. It isn't open world, its play spaces are actually quite linear and narrow, but the scenery and the universe are utterly massive.
Oh my god!
We're talking about a universe where nuking an entire planet's surface is a common way of dealing with a threat. Everything in 40K is massive. From the factions to the fleets of ships within them to the individuals inside those ships. For fuck's sake, even the bullets that they shoot at shit are huge. Scale is just baked into the universe of 40K. Just walking in the game feels like you are an absolute tank of a human being. The fact that you can literally just step on an enemy and they will explode into a pool of blood is just insane.
Oh, okay. That guy died before I was able to actually hit him. Okay, well, I just walked through 6 guys.
And don't even get me started on the scenery. The set pieces in this game absolutely fuck.
That's the one we blew up with the nuke.
And even then, it's still there.
You're gonna be surprised how Arrakis this place is.
Arrakis. My dude.
Yeah, you go up a little bit ahead.
They're gonna start coming out of the ground like Fremen.
No, sprint, Mikey. Sprint, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, no, they literally are. Oh, where did fucking this bitch go?
Oh, get out of there!
What the fuck, man? You got me the
Mikey, you can't fight him. You can't fight him. I told you it's like Dune, buddy.
Every moment in this game is bleeding scale. From the sights you see to the feeling of combat, 40K puts you in the shoes of scale, and it has impact. Just watching some of the cutscenes, it's sometimes hard to comprehend how big certain things in this universe truly are. And because scale is built into the game through its story and lore, it doesn't impede on any of the gameplay loop. And if anything is affected at all, it's the feeling of movement and combat. And I'm telling you right now, that's a good thing. In most games, I'm never the type of player that goes for big, heavy, slow, hard-hitting weapons. I'm usually really quick hits, damage over time, and lots of status effects. Basically, just spinning strike scythe with bleed. So when I saw the Warhammer over the normal sword or any of the guns, I didn't think that that was the weapon that I would be using. But holy shit, this thing is fun to use.
Oh, I fucked his ass.
Oh, bitch! Let me see your fucking face really quick. Thank you.
The Scooby-Doo reveal is crazy for the execution.
The amount of weight behind every swing of this thing is wild, and you can almost feel it while you're playing.
Kill that motherfucker over there.
Got him, ass. Let's go, baby.
Saber has proven to me that they are masters at utilizing scale in ways that are far more elusive than just saying, thing big.
Holy shit.
With his fortress's defensive weapons.
Yeah, you wanted scale.
However, sometimes thing cool because thing big. Which brings me to a game that I've actually covered before on my channel as well. It's an absolute broken mess, a thing that entirely fails to be a game, but I love it. You know it. We're going back to Star Citizen. Now I know this game is, well, it's a piece of shit, but if it does anything right at all, out of all the things it does wrong, it's scale. Now when Todd Howard says things like,
And so we spent a lot of time figuring out, okay, let's just lean in on
that can be a lonely experience, but I equate it to that moment of we said about listening to the wind go and watching the sunset. And I do think there's a certain beauty to landing on a strange planet, being somewhat the only person there. So you can watch whatever that gas giant or moon, it will rotate and go and sunrise, sunset. And
so this is the world's most immense simulator of loneliness, because I can't imagine a more lonely experience.
I mean, you put it that way. I don't know that was the goal, but
I totally get what he means. I would have loved for Starfield to be a better working game with moments where players could explore and truly experience scale in space. But it didn't work out that way. So now I find myself fighting server stability and a plethora of other bugs, but when it happens to work, just for a minute, at least I get to experience this. Star Citizen is unique in how it approaches scale, not because it does it some clever way, but because it's literally just that fucking big. Jumping to a planet in Star Citizen isn't a loading screen, it's actually setting a jump point, engaging your quantum drive, and boom, you're going. You're going. This is gonna take a while. That's because you are actually moving there in real 3D space, actually very fast. This star system is, well, just that big. So fuck it, get out of your chair, go stroll around your massive ship, go to the pool, watch some TV, have a cold one with the boys. Oh fuck, we're here. Cool space station, but I want to go down to the city and the planet. So go ahead and fly down there. Look at this cool skyline. See that giant building? I'm gonna land my ship, take the tram, go over there, look up. That's the building. That's the building we just saw. What? That is huge. This game allows you to live through every moment of scale, truly experiencing it. And I'm not saying it's a better game because of that. Trust me. It's not. It just does scale better. And while I'm sure doing all of these steps just to get somewhere to do something sounds like a hassle for a lot of people, and there are other elements of the game like first-person shooter mechanics, there's resource management, there's reputation with factions to get better missions, but flying is a big part of the gameplay loop. And flying in this game is way more in-depth than just hitting W and looking somewhere. It's a flight sim. And that's what people are here for. So in a way, this game does that well. And as someone who loves scale, I guess having scale for the sake of scale can be cool. I just need to feel like I'm experiencing it. And Star Citizen is so good at putting scale into perspective.
It's so hard to tell how far I am. I parked right next to it.
And I guess that's why I keep coming back. It's like one of those moments when you're a kid in a car and you're looking at a stop sign and you think to yourself, that stop sign's not that tall. I could probably climb that. And later on in the day, you revisit that stop sign, but this time you walk up to it. That stop sign is now a tower. The perspective shifts and you feel that perspective change. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe no one relates to this. I'm 5'6" now, so like I was probably just a tiny fucking kid. Who knows? However, if you didn't want to play a broken mess of a game and like the base building and resource management of Starfield, No Man's Sky is a great example of a middle ground between Star Citizen and Starfield. There are so many examples of scale that I could dive into, but honestly, I've taken long enough with this video. I can talk about how Destiny manages to do scale in so many different ways, like when you get to the end of King's Fall and Oryx crawls over the edge of the arena and you see him for the first time. Or I could talk about how the original Halo trilogy, all of the Forerunner structures are so massive and out of this world, so full of mystery. Shit, I can go on for hours just about the second level of Halo Combat Evolved or Silent Cartographer. I didn't even really get to talk about the Erd Tree in Elden Ring, how you get closer and closer with your progress in the game and your perspective changes each time, and when you land at the base, you realize that the game was directing you there using the environment. Or when you land somewhere in Star Citizen, you realize just how massive the city or space that you are in actually is, seeing hordes of Tyranids flying through massive cityscapes. Or for fuck's sake, Dune! Dune just came out as I was working on this video and I didn't get to incorporate it in, and it pains me so much to not be able to do that. I think what I'm trying to say is, I just love scale. And sometimes it's done well, and others, it just isn't. There's just a balance that needs to be there, and sometimes that's really hard to nail down.
However, I think Rockstar did a pretty good job with GTA 5. Considering it would take me this long to walk here, it took me this long for this trip, and Jake's been done for several hours.
Either way, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for listening to some random dude share his opinions on the internet. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate if you hit the subscribe button, left a like, comment, share it around with someone you think would enjoy it. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you get notified when I rarely upload, or alternatively, join our Discord server, linked in the description, if you want to be in a video, a stream, or maybe just participate in a community event that I'm hosting. And speaking of community events, I'm actually thinking about hosting some inside of Dune Awakening and Halo pretty soon, which I'll be making videos of and streaming just like I do every weekend right here and on Twitch. So come hop in Twitch chat and make me suffer by listening to text-to-speech of random strings of letters that you decided to combine together to make whatever cursed sound this is.
Oh yeah, I have no idea.
Oh god, hunky. And with all that being said, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in Twitch chat and maybe in the Discord server. And to Todd Howard, if you're watching this, just don't fuck up Elder Scrolls 6, man.